this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Brought to you by the Spam brand.
Some foods or TV shows just instantly take you back to your childhood. Spam Classic is one of those foods.
It's so 90s, but also so iconic that the sight of it sizzling just makes your mouth water.
Back then, we had Spam Classic, but today, there are 12 irresistible varieties to choose from.
It's like picking your favorite Boy Meets World episode. Impossible. There's Korean barbecue flavored, jalapeno, and 25% less sodium, just to name a few.
Spam brand. Sizzle pork and
Learn more and get sizzling at spam.com.
Hey, and welcome to the Short Stuff. I'm Shar Josh. There's Shar Chuck. Shar Jerry's here too, and we're just paying around. And this is Short Stuff.
Is that off the top of your head? Please tell me you don't pre-script these.
No, not something that terrible.
Okay.
No.
I see you like furiously scribbling now.
Right. He's crossing it out, yeah.
You want to talk Shar Pei?
Yeah, I do. I sure do.
It sounds like, you got to stop. It sounds like, and I didn't look it up, but Shar Pei's sounds wrong. And it just seems like the plural Shar Pei is probably Shar Pei.
That's what I take it as, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and it came from China originally, the Shar Pei breed did. And
yeah, this is a dog, by the way.
Yeah, we should probably say that. I think every single person who's ever been familiar with dogs is also familiar with Shar Pei because they're one of the most unique and unusual looking dogs on the planet because they have huge floppy folding skin flaps all over their head and neck and shoulders that differentiates them from basically every other dog. They make bloodhounds hang their jowls in shame. They have that many folds and flaps of skin.
That's right. And by the way, this comes from Patty Rasmussen at howstuffworks.com. Mm-hmm. And you said it came from China originally, the breed. And in Chinese, it translates to sand skin.
The plural of translate is translate.
To sand skin. And a fully grown Shar Pei is, they're pretty big, between 45 and 60 pounds, a couple of feet tall. Those folds, like you said, are unmistakable. They're kind of light brownish in color, although they can be apparently up to 17 different shades and different colors.
Yeah, they also have a really prominent, big, stout muzzle, too, that really fits them. It seems appropriate to the rest of their body size, but it's also unique. But you only notice the muzzle after you notice all the skin folds. And then after you notice the muzzle, you'll notice they have these tiny little kind of soft eyes that are made even softer by the huge flaps and folds of skin hanging around them. They just kind of have this sweet kind of droopy look about them that makes you want to just come up and just,
Yeah, and as we'll see here in a few minutes, all the skin action around the eyes can cause a lot of problems, sadly.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like it's super cute and super sweet, but the dog's like, please call the police.
Right. So let's talk about these folds. They actually interviewed for this article. Patty Rasmussen interviewed Dr. Kirsten Lindblad Toe of Uppsala University in Sweden. Mm-hmm. That's some pretty good digging.
Yeah, for sure.
And apparently Dr. Lindblad Toe knows all about these folds and where they come from. And it comes from something called hyaluronin. And this is like a gel. It's described as a gel around the cells in the skin. Mm-hmm. And Shar Peis just have a lot of this stuff accumulating basically in the skin.
Yeah. And that may sound familiar to you if you have anything like a skincare regime because hyaluronic acid is having a real moment right now and has for a few years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But this is the actual stuff that kind of pads and makes the cells kind of floppy and elastic and gives them kind of buoyancy and bounciness and vibrancy and youth and cover girl and all that stuff. And all of it is produced at bottom by the hyaluronic acid synthase 2 gene. And it turns out that Shar Pei dogs, no, Chuck, now that I was about to say it, I think Shar Pei's works.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Shar
no.
Pei's work. So the Shar Peis have hyaluronic synthase 2 genes basically on steroids.
That's right. And so you're getting way too much accumulation of it, and that's what produces the wrinkles. It's really, they figured it out. Mm-hmm. And this is the kind of thing that Shar Pei lovers love. They buy these dogs for a lot of money. And if you want to know, I guess maybe we'll take a break and we'll tell you a little bit about the breed and what they're like as dogs.
Think of all the stuff, there's so much stuff. Look at all the stuff you should know.
Okay, so my dog Little has figured out what a Chewy box looks like. And so she sees it and immediately assumes it's for her and goes rushing over to it.
Issa is the same way. She barks at everyone else, but the Chewy box, she's like, I'll let that one slide. And you know what? I can't blame her. Chewy has over 100,000 products: food, treats, toys, beds, but all the stuff that both our dogs love.
And it shows up in like 1 or 2 days. Like I've barely hit the order button and it's already on my porch.
So convenient. And it's not just dog stuff. Birds, fish, reptiles. Chewy's got the whole pet universe covered.
You know what surprised me was the health side. Now, you know, my sweet Holly was a medically complex poodle with her heart disease and her kidney disease, and she needed a lot of prescription meds and prescription food. And Chewy was outstanding and really went above and beyond to make sure that she had what she needed. So I appreciate that. And Chewy will take care of all prescriptions, pet insurance, telehealth, vet visits. The list goes on.
And they're now rolling out actual vet clinics. So that is huge.
Amazing. And if Little turns her nose up at something, which she does quite often, I can return it within a year with no questions asked. And if I ever need help, Chewy's 24/7 customer service is actually helpful.
Chewy just makes the whole pet parent thing feel easier.
They really do. For life with pets, the answer is Chewy. Save $20 on your first order with free shipping at chewpanions.chewy.com/howrude.
Joy is essential, and it's also elusive. You can't order it, you can't borrow it, or simply hope it into life. But now, there's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Joy 101. It's a new podcast hosted by me, Hoda Kotb. Together, guys, we'll have meaningful conversations with the world's most fascinating people. Entertainment legends, sports icons, wellness experts, and everyday people will share how they find, allow, and experience joy. And I'll offer some of my own tips and takes on seeking a more balanced and harmonious life. If you're craving inspiration, support, and useful tools to maximize your joy, tune into these candid, uplifting, and moving on-air chats. Joy after a breakup, joy as an empty nester, joy after a loss, joy as a caretaker. This new podcast will speak to you. Listen to Joy 101 on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What are they like, Josh? You got 8 Shar Peis.
That's true. Each one more cuddly than the last.
That's right.
No, I have one Momo, and she is in no way Shar Pei, although she is Shih Tzu, so I guess she's, from the same homeland to an extent.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. So the Shar Pei is apparently it's a good dog if you're looking for a loyal dog.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really play well with other dogs and doesn't like strangers. That seems to be one of the big tenets of the Shar Pei breed.
Yeah, it is a big tenet. And, I'm sure we'll hear from Shar Pei owners that will either kind of verify this or tell us like we've got it all wrong because their dog is nothing like this. But one thing you're going to want to be accustomed to and up for is maybe a little more vet care than you would your average mutt street dog, because Shar Pei, because of the unique situation with the HAS2 gene, there can be a lot of there's sort of a host of problems that can happen to the Shar Pei.
Yeah, and
a lot of them have to do with the eyes.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it ultimately goes back to the skin folds. Like, so the eyes themselves can have all sorts of problems, but if you really kind of look into it, it seems to be from skin pressing up against the eyes, coming in contact with the eyes. There's one where the dog can actually go blind from the skin just pressing on his or her retina for so long. That there's also like because they have that kind of sand skin, it's kind of coarse. A fold of that turned inward onto their cornea over probably a very brief amount of time is going to damage their cornea. And that's another issue you can have. So just from skin coming in contact with the eyes, but they also have other stuff that like the eyes themselves can just be kind of weak or unsturdy. And that's just one very common widespread problem that Shar Peis have. They also have a lot of genetic disorders too. And again, it has to do with hyaluronic acid.
Oh, is the fever disease linked to that too?
That's what I took it as, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, let's see that. The study does link that gene. It is called periodic fever disease. They sometimes even call it familial Shar Pei fever. Mm-hmm. And it seems to just come out of nowhere. The dog will get feverish and sort of listless. And apparently that hyaluronan, is to blame for this periodic disease, as well as some like autoimmune issues.
Yeah. And then there's also Shar Pei autoinflammatory disease, or SPADE with an I. And it has all sorts of stuff in addition to fever: arthritis, dermatitis, ear infections, organ infections, just a whole host of problems. And again, it has to do with that mutation that, leads to these skin flaps that's been selected for more and more over generations and generations of Shar Peis. I guess the breeders had no idea that they were also selecting for the most genetically unsound of the bunch too, as far as this disorder, this autoimmune disorder goes.
Yeah, it's sort of like the bulldogs
Mm-hmm.
Having like trouble breathing. Even
Right.
they've been bred so their noses have been bred so smashed up against their face.
I remember reading not that long ago, Chuck, that I believe in the 19th century, the bulldogs had a reputation like pit bulls have today, that they were brutal, vicious dogs. And there was a big public outcry about them as a breed to basically just destroy the entire breed. And to avoid that, bulldog breeders bred them. They started selecting them to be way more mellow, way less physically capable of like violence, and just generally nicer and happier. And so we have the bulldog today, which basically in no way resembles the bulldog of the 19th century.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We should do something on the pit bull at some point too, because those were nanny dogs. Pit bulls are great.
Okay.
Love those dogs. I've had those dogs. So as far as the Shar Pei being a good dog in the house, like you said, they are very loyal. So they're great in that aspect. The AKC says that, the puppies might be better if you have older kids, so they might be a little rambunctious. Mm-hmm. They're really smart. They're pretty independent, but they are loyal. I think initially they were hunters and guard dogs. So, they're going to take some training. They do suggest obedience training, and that they typically aren't great with other dogs and strangers. So it sounds like one of those breeds where you kind of got your hands full. If you're a Shar Pei lover, I'm sure that you know what you're getting into, but they sound like they're not the easiest dog to have.
No, but I have a feeling that if you are a Shar Pei lover, you don't care and love them entirely. So that's cool.
Exactly. They're interesting looking animals, I will say that.
Yeah, you did a call out for Shar Pei owners, so I want to second that. If you have a Shar Pei, tell us all about your dog. We want to hear.
Please do.
And in the meantime, we're just going to say that Short Stuff is out.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.